JKB back with another episode. Today on the show, I'm reviewing Forza Horizon 3. What a mouthful. As always, I'd like to thank Microsoft for sending over the review copy. Was hoping that somebody out there would let me come live with them. I've got two different mops. Mop up your garage and the blood from the hooker we killed, if I can move in with you. I thought about this and I thought, what's the best way I could talk about Forza Horizon 3? I got an idea. I recorded so much footage, too much, that I am going to show you some of the best parts of the game and just talk over them as we go through the review. There's so much I could go into in this, but I realized a review shouldn't really spoil every little surprise that a game holds in store for you, especially if you plan on picking this up. And I'll say, Forza Horizon 3 is a must-fucking-own video game, and there's many reasons why. But off the top, let's talk about the plot. You are now going down under, where you will be racing in Australia. This means you can run over kangaroos, and they explode on screen. It's fucking amazing in HD. I'm making that part up. You can't actually hit any of the wildlife. Haven't seen any of the wildlife while I was driving. Actually, that's not true. I saw an alligator. Was gonna fry it up in the bobby. Couldn't catch it. Little bugger got away. So I do see a lot of Australia, and a lot of people ask me so many questions about this, but let me just say, the game is all about building the Horizon Festival this time around and expanding it over the great land of Australia. And it's spectacular to look at, and that is the shining star of this, because, you know, in the last game, it was good, it was in Italy, yeah. But this time, it's down under, and that is a fucking key point to this game. And you are the boss now. They got rid of that annoying-ish boss from the last game, and you're simply driving around, gaining fans, and building the Horizon just beautiful, beautiful festival. The beginning of this game is so spectacular that it rivals the beginning of Forza Horizon 2. Forza Horizon 2 had an amazing intro, but it was all video. This time around, they've decided to get rid of the video, and they toss you into a race right at the start of the game, and it captures the essence of Australia. You go from a beach setting into the jungle, into a rainforest, right into a desert setting, all in the intro, and it introduces you to the different aspects of what you'll be doing in the game. So spectacular to look at. Graphically, this is the best racing game I've ever looked at, period, on a console. Absolutely no hiccups in the frame rate, absolutely no pop-ins. It was flawless in terms of its delivery and its just stunning visuals. Let me just start out by saying I played a lot of racing games. I'm a huge racing fan, and I'm not overhyping this game. And when I say it is my fucking favorite racing game of all time, the amount of customization, the amount of races, the amount of world, the amount of cars, the amount of sheer just epic moments is fucking ridiculous. Now, I'm going to go over as many features as possible in this review, but I'd be here for like 30-20 minutes, and I don't want to do that. I just want to give you an essence of what the game is and the atmosphere that it's going to deliver to you if you decide to pick it up. The first feature I want to talk about is the Horizon Blueprint feature. This lets you customize your own events. This means you can hire and fire your own friends online on Xbox Live, and they will gain more fan points for you in those races. You can also, and I love this, fire them. So if they're sucking in your events that you've customized and they're coming in there and they're just complete garbage, you can fire them off of your team. This is insane to be able to do. Then you can go on Facebook and be like, you suck ass. I've replaced you instantly. It's horrible. So the Blueprint feature is something that I really enjoyed, because you come up to this event and you realize you can customize your own event, but you can also choose other events that people have made in that area. So this is a feature I give a huge thumbs up to. Absolutely love firing everybody off my list because I am the best racer ever. Let me just say this. One of my all-time favorite games is Underground 2, Need for Speed. There's a reason for that. The customization, the body kits, the paint that you can put on the car, you can really personalize it. And I gotta say, finally, in Horizon, they've introduced the ability to put body kits on the cars, and this brings up the customization to another level, because I'm talking about other cars that look like yours but have different body kits on them, and you get your own personal sort of feeling out of it this time around. And that was a huge part of my past in racing games. So to be able to do that now with all of the old customization that they've just brought forward, for instance, the ability to change your license plate, of course, is a big role. So I put JKB on my license plate. You can also change the sound of the horn, and you're saying, well, like, what is the big deal in that? Well, the sound of the horn is quite cool now because you can start your own convoys. And you're going to ask me, what's a convoy? When you're in the main campaign, just rolling around, and you see the other drivatars, you know, coming around the corner, you can obviously hit X and you can race them. But now, this is insane. This is something I haven't seen in a racing game, period. You can now hit your horn when you pass them or behind them or in front of them and start your own convoy. So this is essentially a chain that you're creating, and you can have up to 4 cars, I believe, that will follow you anywhere on the map. And you're saying, like, well, that's not really a big deal, it's just AI following you. But you got to realize, if you're not playing online, you have 4 cars that are following you around now. And Anna, who is essentially your navigation, you know, AI in the game, who's going to send you to races and all this, I'll get into her later, but you have her saying, like, you have a convoy with you. Do you want to race the convoy right now? And it creates these moments that you just have an instant race. Like, I'm talking about no loading times, and it goes directly into a race with the 4 competitors that are following you around the map. If you go off a jump, they go off a jump. If you go through a forest, they'll follow you through that forest. It is one of the coolest features I've seen in a racing game, and it really made me feel like part of some sort of living, breathing environment, opposed to playing a racing game on my Xbox One. I felt like I was part of a community, even though it was AI characters. I don't think I can explain it enough to you guys for you to really get the essence of what it feels like to just collect your own AI characters and have them follow you around. It was really a shining moment in the game. For instance, these guys don't drive lightly. I mean, in other racing games, you've had cars smack into you, and there was moments of, like, frustration with them where they tried to run you off the road. But this time, these bastards, these drivatars, are fucking aggressive. And I'm telling you, when they're in the convoy, they're aggressive the whole way. It makes, you know, going between the events, it makes it so much fun to just drive around randomly. And I know that sounds so crazy, but that is just one of the features I wanted to tell you that really made the game enjoyable for me. Now, another thing a lot of people asked me was the size of the map, and I have to say, it is about double the size as the last game. This means double the size of the things to do. The list that you need to complete for this game is completely insane, and once it's over, you still have 12-player online free roam. You also have multiplayer racing, and also something that is brand new to this that I'm so happy about is 4-player online co-op, which means you can play the whole completely. I'm talking about the whole campaign with 4 friends online. That is a huge element to this, especially if you're not the type of person to just go into online free roam mode and just have some fun there. You can now complete your campaign, which is a huge feature I think a ton of people asked for. So that is a complete and utter shining star in this package, not just like the one below my belt, if you know what I'm saying. You know, I could just keep talking about the features, but let me just give you an example of something that happened. I'm going through this huge event. I'm talking like 12 kilometers or 13 kilometers in game, which is at least 4 or 5 minutes, and the laps are gigantic. And all of a sudden it starts to get dark. And then all of a sudden a storm starts to brew, and you could see it coming, and you're racing and you're like, oh shit, here comes something serious. And it starts to rain and it's thundering, and all of a sudden, second lap, there's a giant puddle in the middle of the track that wasn't there on the first lap. And this is something that happens in real time, no loading, and it really does affect your car when you drive through that. So if you know what hydroplaning means, get used to it, because it rains a lot in Australia, down under. So you will be going through massive puddles with alligators that are literally biting at your tires at times. I'm talking about crazy real-time effects in a racing game that I have to say is another shining example of what they put the manpower into when they designed this game. They knew that the atmosphere had to be nailed down, and to have a storm just roll in on you during an event, guys, it's fucking amazing. Your XP points will actually go to 3 different trees now. Within the 3 different trees, you have all sorts of things that can be unlocked. So we're talking about bonus points, bonus credits, all sorts of things. The horns that you can change on your car now are unlocked in there as well. There's customization abilities that you'll unlock in there. All sorts of things. So you've got 3 different trees this time to unlock, and that is a lot of driving to do. And that, huge plus. You also have your prize wheel that shows up on the screen. This is from the past game, something I absolutely loved in the last game. It's like a little casino game, you know. You'll get some sort of challenge, you'll complete it, and you'll be able to spin this wheel, and it'll give you credits, or it might give you a crazy car. And I'm a VIP member, so all the actual money I get out of that system doubles. So if you're a VIP member, which means you played the last game, you're going to get a lot of money quickly using the spin. I should probably talk about the music, because there's a feature in this game that lets you customize your music using a Microsoft service. So they have something called Groove that you can sign up to. In the game, it'll give you 15 days for free as a trial. This gives you the ability to go onto a website with Groove, which is actually a monthly fee, I believe. I didn't look into the extreme details of it. I do know that you have to pay for it, but it gives you the ability to customize your soundtrack in-game and change it up. Now, you can also use a USB stick with MP3s, but it also includes 9 different stations that have everything you could ever imagine, from drum and bass to hip-hop, all the way to really trashy techno music. And as you go through the music, I gotta be honest with you guys, I haven't heard anything that has blown me away since the last soundtrack. I really like the last soundtrack, and this one is a little disappointing to me, but I'm being picky here. So the music, it's cool, but it's not something I really focus on too much in a game. I really like to have aggressive music playing when I'm racing, or epic music. You definitely have classical music, which is kind of funny to race to, but I don't know, the score or the music in the game it's not as good as the last, personally. Let's just get to the pros and cons of Forza Horizon 3, because the pro list is gigantic, and I'll give away a lot of details in there, and the dislikes is very small. In terms of what I didn't like in this game, the music is a big letdown to me. I really felt like it didn't have that emotional punch like the last game had with its music. It has all the EDM you would ever want. It has all the slasher punk. It has all that stuff. But it doesn't have any tracks that really, when they come on, propel you, intensify a race. I really feel like some of the music is very average. Some of it is good. The rest of it, And the other option is to use the Groove service. That is a Microsoft paid service that lets you customize your music and use on all other devices, of course. But in Forza, this lets you customize your soundtrack. So if you want to spend that money, you can do that. And I'm not going to give it a negative that you can do that, but I mean, I don't really want to go spend extra money to get a really good soundtrack in the game. The other negative, and it's the last negative in this game, because this game is fucking spectacular, has to be the checkpoints. Now, I was trying to think how to explain this to you, and I thought visually I would just show you. In terms of old racing games, you would have a visual checkpoint that you had to go through, and it was clear as day. If you go through these 2 markers, you've hit that checkpoint, and you can keep going through the race and hit the next one. In this game, the checkpoints are actual flags that move a little bit, and it's very unclear to me if I'm actually going through the checkpoint. Can I hit the checkpoint? Can I go outside and just nick it a little bit and knock it over? Is that going to count? There are times where I've done that, and all of a sudden the car disappears off the screen and it auto starts me 20-30 meters back in the pack, of course, and now I've went from first place to 20th place in a matter of moments because I didn't hit that gate perfectly. So it's very unclear to me if it's working or not. I mean, I don't know if I'm hitting the gates right, and that's frustrating in a racing game, especially if you're the type of racer like me that likes to push the limits. I like to go as close as I can to those things, and yeah, it's a letdown. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works. So that's all I have to say about the negative aspect of Forza. What did I love about this game off the top of my head? There's so much to do in the game. I love the map. It is gigantic. There's so much to do, so many challenges, so many different races, all the customization. The online modes are spectacular. Full 4-player co-op is unbelievable to do that in a racing game now. On top of all of that, 350 cars, even more than that, with all sorts of DLC coming to it. So many options on how you want to play the game in terms of the traction on the road. You're going to use a truck in the rainforest, or you're going to use a sort of Jeep or a dune buggy on the beach. All of these things can be switched out on the fly, and that's a huge aspect to this game. The other thing I absolutely adore is the horn, and building a convoy and being able to go across country with these cars following you and bashing into you. And the Drivatar system, another thing that Forza's introduced way back in the day, is something I love in racing games. The ability to look at a car and see the name on top, and it's like, my friend Mooch. And I'm just like rear-ending him, and that sounds horrible. Sorry, Mooch, but I'm like rear-ending you. And then I hit the horn, and you're bashing into me, and this is crazy. You can bash into somebody, hit the horn, they'll horn back at you. Like, I haven't seen a racing game do that. You can get somebody pissed off that is just a Drivatar AI character that's based on one of my online actual friends on his stats angry. You get it aggravated, and it'll bash into you, and it'll really come up behind you and smash into you. So I gotta say, the Drivatar system mixed with the convoy system with the horns, spectacular in this game. I absolutely love using that. I love how fun this game is with the jumps and all of the different bucket list challenges that were from the last game. In this game, they're back, so there's crazy ones in this one. Don't want to give anything away. You can also race so many different things like speedboats when you're next to the shoreline, or even a train. There's a blimp, like a Led Zeppelin that you go up against. I mean, there's so many crazy things. Then on top of it, you've got the Horizon Festival that you're going to be upgrading the whole game through. That in its own right is just one part of the tree here that you can go down. Now, if you're a hardcore fan, you like to customize your car to the max, of course, it's got all the customization you know and love from Forza. On top of it now, you can put body kits onto your cars and customize the colors and all of that stuff. So customization, honestly, is ridiculous. And these are things that I feel like only hardcore racing fans are going to get into in this game. And I'm telling you, when you start to fiddle with some of the really intense customization of like how low the car is, how far the wheels are, and all sorts of things, you'll start to be like, the depth is here in this game. And the last thing I want to talk about in Horizon, my favorite part of this game is actually getting to go to Australia and just race around that location to see the vistas, to see the backdrops, and I've never said this before, but the sense of speed in a racing game that's not like F-Zero, like a futuristic game, in this game is so intense at times. And I don't want to give too much away, but there are moments in the game where you are split-second decisions. I'm talking split-second decisions mean you winning the race and you completely losing the race. If you make that little turn off to the right, you're dead. It's built on the last series. If anybody has major problems with it, then I don't know what to say to them. They might not like racing games, but me personally, this is it. It's not going to get better than this until the next Forza, because this team knows what we want as fans, and there's so much to do online with your friends after you've beaten the campaign. There's so much to do in terms of collecting things and breaking little signs and everything, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what this game offers. So thank you so much for watching this review. I'm not an Xbox fanboy, I'm not a PS4 fanboy. I am a fan of video games, and in terms of racing video games, this is the best racing game for me personally, other than playing the other Forza main series, because those games are spectacular. But I'm talking about the divide in terms of simulation / arcade. This is the best racing game I've ever played, period. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry that this review is extra long. I wanted to show you a lot. I wanted you to just get into it. If you own an Xbox, you like racing games, you want to race with friends online, this is fucking it. Go and buy it right away. Thank you to Microsoft for sending over the review copy. And of course, just want to say thank you so much for watching the show. It really does mean a lot to me. I spent more time than I even want to say on this review. It means the world to me, and I hope that I had the level of detail that you would hope to get. I didn't want to give too much away, and I just really appreciate everything. And the last thing I'm going to ask is if you can go up to that subscribe button on my channel and click the little bell, that's going to actually give you notifications on when I upload. So I really would appreciate if you do that. Click the subscribe button, you'll see the little bell next to it. Click that and say get notifications when I upload. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.